And, guys, almost a wire-to-wire win, Wally.
Yep.
You had Kevin Knox with 7 points in the fourth quarter. You had Mitchell Robinson putting up great numbers. R.J. Barrett was solid. In many ways, this was a really good win for this team.
It really was. This team's playing well at home. They're competing, and when the guys get out there on the floor, they're making an impact. That's what Kevin Knox has to do. He has to look interested in the game, interested in helping his team get wins. It was good to see him play engaged on both ends of the floor. I mean, those key points to start the fourth quarter. He had 7 points to start that fourth quarter. That's big when you get a lift off the bench from a guy like Kevin Knox, and then you know what you're going to get from Randall. Randall's been tremendous because he's been a double-double machine in the month of February. Mitchell Robinson has completely taken the next step in his career. He's been phenomenal the way he's playing both ends of the floor. He looks like a pro now. He looks like he's just playing great basketball.
He's a beast.
He's a beast.
I mean, he's a beast. That's how you put it. A guy like him at his size, his athleticism, figuring it out, he's become a beast.
What's he doing differently?
He just looks
assertive. Well, you said it, right?
It's the assertiveness and the focus. You see it on his face. Like he's absorbing everything that the coaches are teaching him, and he's taking that to the floor. And that's a wonderful thing to see when you're a young player, because all the skills and the talent are there, but then when you see a guy start to get it, you see in his face the confidence that he's playing with. He's always in the right spots. He's anticipating the movements, on offense and defense of the other team. And it's just great to see, because now he's stringing together great game after great game after great game, and it really elevates his team when he plays at this level.
I think he's angry because he didn't get elected to the Rising Stars game, and it's ever since that roster was put out, he's put up monster numbers. So he has a message to send around the league.
And guys, the Knicks were up by 17 points early in the third quarter, but after three quarters, the lead was down to only 3, but they were able, as Wally just touched on, to start the fourth quarter out well, and that was key.
And it was very important. And Wally, again, there it was. It's Kevin Knox. You said the assertiveness. He had some times where you're wondering where he is mentally, but he was definitely locked in mentally to help them get off to a good start here.
Yeah, and then Bobby Portis has always been solid. He gets that bucket. It's a 5-point game at that point. Huge shot. That was a huge shot because they were kind of trading threes back and forth. Kobe White is an absolute flamethrower the way he shoots the ball. There's Wayne Ellington with a big 3. That was an 8-point lead. So the Knicks start to kind of stretch out their lead again. Love the way Frank played. Came back into the lineup and really gave good minutes. And there's Mitch with the layup, 7-point game at that point. And we can't forget how clutch Randall was at the end of the game. And the fourth quarter.
9 points in the fourth quarter.
9 points in the fourth quarter. That game got close. It was a 5-point game at times, and he made all the key plays, that the big-time player for the Knicks is supposed to make down the stretch.
Remember our matchups before the game?
Yeah.
All right, your matchup was RJ and Zach LaVine. RJ plus 19 with 19 points, most of it in the first half. LaVine did have 26, but he's minus 11. And
took 25 shots.
It made him work, too.
Yes.
Also made Zach work. I had the benches. And the benches also, the Bulls and the Knicks benches were 57-55, 2-point favor to the Bulls. Kobe White went for 22. At least he didn't go for 30 because he'd been doing that all week. But he had 4 threes. And then Mitchell, obviously, with his 23 and 10 and 2 blocks. So, the matchups was certainly the ones to watch tonight, and both of them factored in.
Got to pat yourselves on the back there? I mean, what's going on?
Oh, I mean, it'd be nice if somebody did it.
What was your matchup, Bill?
You're not going to do it.
What was your matchup, huh?
I won one-on-one this week, so
no, you didn't. You botched up one-on-one.
Pre-game, Mike Miller said Mitchell Robinson's playing the best basketball of his career, and he was asked, why isn't Mitchell Robinson starting? He said, I want to mess with a good thing. Now, they could have started him the other night when Taj Gibson was out against Philly. Bobby Portis got the start. They do not want to upset what's going on with Mitchell Robinson in terms of his role, when he comes into the game, et cetera. And in this game, 23 points, a career high, as we mentioned, and 10 rebounds.
And only 1 foul in the first half. And that's why, if you make him a starter, maybe he's too aggressive early, right, Wall? I mean, you think about it. Let him stay in his rotation. Only 3 fouls in this game, but only the 1 at the half. So now you're not having to pull him out of the game early, and it allows him to get into his rhythm.
Totally. And I can identify with that. There were times when I started to become a bench player in my career, and I just got comfortable coming off the bench. And you just kind of get into a rhythm. You watch the game. You absorb how the other team is defending certain plays. And then when you get into the game, you're just ready to go. And I love that Mike Miller's not messing with his rotation.
Now, he's in there during crunch time, obviously.
That's all that matters. It's not about who starts the game. It's about who finishes the game. He's been in there at the end of games. That was a big-time alley-oop to kind of put the nail in the coffin and seal the game away. It's just fun watching this kid develop, fun watching him play, because his talent level is just off the charts with his athleticism, size, and length.
Now, look, we're almost at a quarter to go in the season. Development's going to be the story here now. We're going to be talking about that. And what are we talking about tonight? But R.J. Barrett, the lottery pick, having a great first half and a great start to the game. Mitchell Robinson playing like a beast. And Kevin Knox starting to, come out of whatever he's been going through lately. Looked like a lot different of a player in the second half.
And also, Frank Ntilikina, we talked about this while we're watching the game. He misses the last 3 games with a bad groin. And Mike Miller pregame says, you know what's killing us? The second quarter.
Yeah.
That's Frank's time. Frank was in there tonight, and they were much better in that second quarter. Now, he didn't put up great numbers, but as we talked about when we were watching the game, he's a great organizer for that second group.
He's an organizer, and he's a glue guy. He's a guy that out there, he kind of brings the whole unit together. Because you have shooters and scorers. You have guys that want to put the ball in the basket when they come off the bench. And Frank does a good job on the defensive end of the floor, and he also offensively, he's making the right plays, and he's getting more aggressive with the ball in his hands.
All right, let's talk about R.J. Barrett. 17, Allen, of his 19 came in the first half.
He was terrific early. He was attacking, and this is the R.J. Barrett we've been seeing lately, starting out games where he's got that mentality, a scorer's mentality. I'm going to attack the basket. He gets into the paint. He was 7 for 8 in the first half, and it wasn't just layups. It wasn't just drives. Look at this.
Yeah.
All fake, step back, take your time. A nice-looking shot. He was 3 for 3 from downtown. Watch. Now, you know he can get to the basket, and he can finish strong, especially with that left hand. I love this. Is this the one? Is this the step back?
Yeah.
Now watch this. He's got Sadaransky on skates. Did you know he could do this? Well, you know he's been practicing it. And that's what confidence comes from, demonstrated performance, and that's what he's doing right there.
Yeah, and I just give him a lot of credit because when you have a monster first half, he didn't. He ended up 8 for 10.
Only took
and that's
one shot
fine.
in the third quarter.
That's okay, though, because sometimes the opposing defense is going to adjust. They're going to try to see, okay, Barrett lit us up for 17. We're going to take the ball out of his hands. We're going to make other guys beat him. I like the way RJ didn't force in the second half. He looked to distribute. He looked to get the other guys involved. And then he ended up with a very efficient game at 8 for 10. I don't like when he starts 7 for 8 and then he goes 2 for 9 in the second half because he feels like he has to keep shooting. That's when you shoot yourself out of the game and you shoot your team out of the game. Just take what the defense has given you, set up your teammates a little bit more. I love the way he deferred a little bit in the second half.